Welcome to a special horror franchise Wednesday. We are starting a new franchise, Tremors. And so you're going to get my review for Tremors 1 today, later on. But now let's talk about Tremors 7 because it just came out, like today or yesterday, whenever this comes out. But I saw it today, Tuesday, when it came out on my doorstep, slipcover and all, stuck it in and watched it. And it was very, very meh. I was not a huge fan of this. I've only seen the first one, and I don't think I needed to see any of the other ones. After watching it, there's no like anything in it where I was like, oh man, I don't understand what's going on here. I guess I should have watched the other ones. It's not like Cult of Chucky where there's like all these references to the previous movies and you really need to know who these characters are. Like Michael Gross's character in here, Bummer, whatever. Gummer, he's in the first one, so I recognize him. So there's nobody else in here where I got confused. Like, wait, what? What are they talking about? It's a simple story. You got this rich guy who has all these other rich friends. Are hunting these shriekers and graboids. Is that what they're called? They're hunting them for sport. They're just those people, and they like the thrill and they like hunting, and they end up getting hunted themselves. And it's very Predator. There's a lot of meta jokes in the movie, and yeah, I have a lot of problems with this movie. So the good things I can say about this movie, this will be a spoiler-free discussion. All right, spoiler-free because it's brand new. All my other reviews for the other six Tremors movies will have spoiler sections, but this is brand new. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it, and I'm not going to spoil anything, so you're safe. My quick spoiler-free thoughts on this one. Positives, not a whole lot, but I like the location. I mean, it's called Shrieker Island, and I totally believe that this is an island. I don't know where they shot this, but it's beautiful looking. Some of the sets and some of the locations within the film, it looks like an island. The beach looks great. Like I want to go to this place. It looks awesome. So it really sold me that they were where they said they were. It's not like a cheap soundstage or anything like that. Maybe it was, but they really sold me that they were on a private island. So I really like the look of this place and the location and everything. So there's some pretty visuals too. Some decent cinematography, like lighting wise. There's some cool like lit scenes. There's like a flare gun. I'm a sucker for like cool colors. Like there's some colorful scenes. There's lots of flamethrower action in here, and which makes for some cool visuals. So there's a porta potty kill that I liked. It's like the most horror scene in it. Like that's the only scene in the movie where it felt like something out of like a very serious horror monster movie. Just the atmosphere, the lightning, and everything. I was like, this feels like it's very serious, which is the problem I had with this movie. Like it's like 80% serious and then like 20% comedy, and the comedy falls flat. Like almost none of it was landing. But that's negatives. But yeah, that porta potty kill, I really liked it. Kind of reminded me of like Sleepaway Camp 2. The guy just gets dragged right into the porta potty. Bit of a spoiler, but fuck it, who cares? It's just a kill. um, Now, the CGI in this movie, I'm not sure what the budget was, but it's surprisingly not that bad. Do I want it in my Tremors movie? Fuck no. After watching part one and seeing the amazing, effects, practical, and them using practical in the other sequels, because I saw the compilation video at the end, which I like. When the credits are rolling, you actually get to see like a compilation of like all the other six movies, all the Michael Gross scenes mainly, him killing the graboids or whatever. I was like, oh, that's a cool, compilation video, the greatest hits thing at the end. But yeah, practical effects. They use them in all the other ones. It looks like, and then in this one, it's a CGI fest. I don't. There's hardly any practicals. Like when they're dead and their guts are flying out, like that's practical. But for the most part, it's all CGI. But it doesn't look that bad. So I would guess this budget was not huge, but it wasn't that small because the CGI of these shriekers and whatnot looked good in some moments, but then kind of shoddy in some other moments. It was just hit and miss. Like, oh, that looked fine, or nah, that looked kind of bad, but it's fine. Like, it wasn't like so awful or anything. But we're kind of spoiled nowadays because of like Marvel and Disney. They have like these great CGI movies, and it's not that level of great, but it's not terrible. So the CGI is fine, but do I want it? No. Not with my monsters in this movie. All right, because we've seen what they can pull off before. Why not do it again? You're just getting lazy. Well, let's just let the computer people do it. Let's just do CGI. Fuck that. Give me a real practical effect. There's a little homage to part one. They even make mention of like Val and Earl, which I liked. Because it just reminded me of better characters. This movie does not have any fun characters, not in my opinion. But yeah, there's, without spoiling too much, but what happens in the story later on in the film, there's like a moment straight out of the first movie. I was like, oh, they're doing this again. I like that. It was kind of cool. So that's really about it. I mean, Michael Gross is fine. I like Richard Brake. He's in here. He's done like a lot of Rob Zombie movies. Fuck, cow. Every time I see Richard Brake, I start quoting Rob Zombie Halloween 2. Cow. But yeah, like Michael Gross and Richard Brake, I think they're the better actors in this movie. Like everybody else was just fine at best. There's some very poor performances here and there. It's just not good. The acting is not that good. It's very subpar. And some of the cinematography and shot selection, this director, where he puts the camera, the overuse of slow-mo. This movie could be like 15 minutes shorter, and it's already way too long. It feels like it's 2 hours. But I think it's like an hour and like 45. It could have been like 10 minutes shorter if they just took all this slow-mo shots out of the film. Felt like I was watching like Mission Impossible 2 or some shit. And I feel like John Heder was miscast. I am not a fan of this actor at all. I hate Napoleon Dynamite, and I've never seen like almost anything else this guy's done because of that movie. Like Benchwarmers, I don't like his character in that movie. I don't like this guy's comedic timing. I don't think he's funny at all. So I immediately when I saw him, I was like, oh fuck, here we go. And he's really not even funny. They don't really give him a whole lot of comedic lines or anything. And for the most part, this movie is very serious, which is just a mistake. The first one was a good, even blend of horror and comedy, to me at least. This one is just like I said before, 80%, like, or maybe even 90% serious, and then just little bits of comedy here and there, and it's just laughably bad. Like, just like, was that supposed to be funny? It's like low-hanging fruit humor, just very lazily written shit. People going like, oh, trust me, nothing's getting through this door. We're safe. And then boom, something happens. And they're like, you were saying? Just stuff like that. Just little lazy humor like that you've seen in 1,000 movies. You know what the punchline's going to be before it's ever said. It's just predictable laziness. It's not funny at all. There's one thing that made me laugh in this movie, and it was just a meta joke about like Evil Dead when he has like a chainsaw. He's like, you go Rambo on them, I got the chainsaw, so I'm going Evil Dead. And it's just like when they mention other movies that are better than this, I had a good chuckle. It's like, oh, I like that movie. Thanks for reminding me of a better movie than what you're presenting to me right now. It's just bad, the comedy. There was just one joke that made me chuckle. Anybody else? I know I'm harping on this movie. I would be shocked if I'm going to get like a lot of hate. Like, oh, you hate this movie? Fuck you. Like, is there really going to be that much love for this movie? I feel like I'm going to be in the majority. I'll be shocked if there's a lot of love for this film. Because it's really not that good. I was very just in and out of it. I checked out like less than halfway through. It was kind of a chore. And I swear to God, this movie felt like it was about to wrap up like 3 times to me. I was like, oh, I think we're getting close. Nope, we got another like 30 minutes. And then, oh, we're getting close. Nope, another 30 minutes for me. Like, it just felt like it was never going to end. And that's because I just checked out. I didn't care about any of these other side characters at all. We didn't get to know almost anybody. The good guys. I mean, you're not supposed to care for these bad guys or just cannon fodder, which I hate. It's like, in the first movie, lots of memorable characters, good people, innocent people getting killed. In this one, there's just a bunch of bad guys. You gotta have human antagonists now, so you can root for them to die, and it's supposed to be cathartic or whatnot, but they're not. evil enough to where it's really cathartic. Like, yeah, I really want that asshole dead. They're just typical generic bad guys with generic motivations, and I hate monster movies with human bad guys because they're always the same type of bad guys to me. They're never anything different or original. It's just typical antagonists. We don't need them. Let's just focus on the damn creatures. But no, we gotta get the human bad guys to explain why the creatures are here. Like this, he's mutating them. He's doing basically Jurassic Park shit to them. It's the same shit. We gotta make different breeds of different types of shriekers and do stupid shit because we're bored and we just want to hunt them. Oh, we made a mistake. Now we need you to help solve our problem. I really didn't like the story. The second half of this film is basically a Predator cheapened like version of Predator. It's a knockoff, and then they acknowledge what they're ripping off. You know, like, oh, this is like Predator. It's like, yeah, it is. You're ripping it off blatantly. So, I didn't like this movie. There, I don't want to bitch any longer. I have more shit here, like the sounds of these shriekers. It's straight up like grizzly bear sounds and tigers. Did they breed them with tigers, and that's why they sound like them? And grizzly bears, they sound like Victor Crowley in Hatchet 3. I shit you not. I've seen that movie enough. I know that sound. They took the same exact sound from Hatchet 3 that they used for Victor Crowley when he's like barging out of that paramedic boat, which is not a real thing. And he's like, I can't mimic it. I wish I could, but it's the grizzly bear sound, and they use the same sound like 100 times, just like the slow-mo. Yeah. What a shame. What a shame. I went with an open mind. You know, I didn't know what to expect. I just came off of the first one. I was like, all right, good horror comedy, good even blend, some good characters, memorable characters, some funny lines, good pace. This one, the pace was all wonky. It was just all over the place. I felt like we were getting close to the end, but we weren't. I just wanted it to end. Was not enjoying myself. Had like one chuckle. I just did not like this movie. So when it comes to Tremors Shrieker Island, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say that this one is wasted time. There you go. There's my thoughts on Shrieker Island Tremors 7. What did you think about this movie? If you've seen it, put all your thoughts of it in the comments below. Was I too hard on it? I don't think so. Yeah. That's my personal opinion. I did not like it. But yeah, what did you think about it? And thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you like what you've seen, hit this like button. Keep an eye out for my Tremors 1 review later on tonight. And become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen.